ไหนไม่เห็นมีใครเปลี่ยนชื่อเป็นแต่เดี๋ยวเขาก็บอกซ้ำหรือเปล่าเห็นอาจารย์เก่งอยู่คนเดียวเลยนะ949นี่เราปิดไมค์หรือเปล่า Sorry Good morning everyone I'm sorry I did not turn off the microphone
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so I can see that some of you already renamed your name with the last three digits of your paper ID, but I don't see your name. I just see one paper ID 949. Can you please also add your first or last name? Your name plus the last three digits of your paper ID, please. Yes. Good. Okay, I can see 949. You have your name plus the paper ID. Good. 940. It's good. Okay. 902. Good. Okay. Please rename your name.
'll check my
945.
number.
Good.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Okay, some more names need to be renamed and add the last three digits of your paper ID. Okay. Most of the names are done. Some remaining to be renamed. Please, we have 3 more minutes. Add the last three digits of your paper ID to your name on the screen. Okay, good. I can see many names with the paper ID on the screen. Some still need to be renamed. Okay, we have two more minutes. Please, if you can rename your names and then we start the session. we need to see 1, 2, and yeah, 2, 3, 3 more participants, and 4 need to rename their names with the last 3 digits of the paper IDs. I can see here. Okay, no problem. You already sent the paper, the video PPT, and we will upload it to our YouTube channel, so you don't worry about that. You can participate as a listener, and you don't need to present it live on Zoom. Okay, good. Okay, so I think we are done, and we need to start the session. Let me check. Okay. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so good morning, everyone, and welcome all to this IIARP International Conference that is organized by International Institute of Academic Research and Publication, known as IIARP. I am Dr. Shakir, the coordinator for this conference, and I hope that all of you already received the program schedule and other instructions and documents for this online session. And for each participants who want to present their presentation, their paper is live, can have 10 minutes and 5 minutes extra for the Q&A session. And after the completion of all the presentations, we will have a Q&A session. You can come to ask your questions, or if you have any suggestions or any comments for other participants. So yes, so we will have Q&A session at the end. And I want to mention is someone asked about the video PPT. Those who already sent their video PPTs, the video recordings, they don't need to present it here, or play the recording here. We will upload your video presentation to the YouTube channel, and later I will share the link. You can access to that channel and that YouTube channel. And I welcome Professor Dr. Mike Ali for to be as a session chair in this online session, and he will assess every presentation, and based on that assessment, we will have certificates is an award in the form of certificate to the best presenter or the best paper. The best paper assessment criteria is quite simple. It includes the best contents of the paper, presentation skills, time management skills, and how can you attract audiences, and how can you participate in the Q&A session. So all these are very important things in the assessment criteria. Okay, so I think you will enjoy this session. But before that, I think it's quite important to introduce you to the organization IIARP. And for that purpose, I need to share my screen. Let me check my PPT. Mhm. Is it visible to everyone?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, so this is IIARP, International Institute of Academic Research and Publication. It is a dynamic conglomeration of academia and professionals which is dedicated to promote research and innovation, making a significant global impact. The primary objective is to unite researchers and professionals from around the world, fostering intellectual development and facilitating opportunities for networking and collaboration. This organization is actively engaged in different academic activities, including networking events, meetings, conferences, workshops, and research projects. Additionally, we are committed to publishing cutting-edge research publication and recognizing outstanding achievements through academic awards and scholarships as well. Okay. These are some of the associates, IIARP's associates and partners, such as Glovento, Conference Alerts 360, and manuscript edited by IIARP. So what basically we do, involved in world-class networking, connect with the global community of researchers, scholars, and industry experts, and organizing national and international conferences in around the world, and publication in academic journals and peer-reviewed journal and international peer-reviewed journals. Yes. So IIARP is basically a renowned organization which is dedicated to foster a global scientific and academic collaboration with a rich history of organizing international and national conferences. IIARP has made significant contribution to different fields of study. In our extensive network spans across different countries, including South Asian countries, Europe, and many other countries you can see here, different countries, where we had organized conferences and other academic activities. So here you, as a participant in this conference, you will have the publication opportunities. You can publish your abstract in the abstract proceeding book with the DY number. You can also choose to publish your paper in the peer-reviewed journal, international journals indexed in the Google Scholar and Douch. With the DOI, you can also choose to publish your paper in Scopus, in Web of Science journals, and beside that, IIARP provide a comprehensive publication support, including guidance for pre-submission review, and other a lot of things, step-by-step guideline. So if you are really serious about publishing your paper, later I will share our publication team contact number, WhatsApp and email, and you can contact us, and we will guide you step by step. How can you prepare your manuscript? How can you prepare the different documents and other things to be submitted to a Scopus or Web of Science journal, and it will be proceeded for publication in those journals. Here are some of the requirements you need to have in your manuscript, such as it should be original, not plagiarized, not written through AI, and This requirement is not important, but if you have, is very good. If one of the author is qualified researcher, I mean, if she or she has a PhD degree or a lectureship or some faculty position, but it's not necessary, and it must be written in a clear English. And for that purpose, if you have a problem in writing in English, our team can help in that in that regard, and it can be written in a clear English. We can correct it through our experts. Yeah. And there are some other requirements, not very necessary, such as data availability, but there are different manuscripts, such as review articles. So for those, it doesn't need the data availability, such as questionnaire or database. So these are some of the requirements. Later, our team will guide you step by step how to do, what to do, and what to prepare for submitting your manuscript. So these are the things. You can come later to contact our team, and they will guide you. These are some of the examples of our previous publication in Scopus Q1, Web of Science, and different peer review international journals. We had published a lot of manuscripts for our conference participant. You can visit our website to explore more about our previous publications. These are some of the glimpses of our previous online and offline conferences in different countries, in different cities, capital cities, and you can visit our website www.iiarp.org for exploring more about IIARP and what IIARP did in doing, currently doing. Yeah. So another thing I need to mention, that in order to be environmental friendly, we will just send the soft copies of your certificates and proceedings to your email, and we will not send the printed copies of the proceedings and certificates. That's very important, I think. Yeah, so that's all from my side, and now I'm inviting the session chair to properly start the session with by inviting the participant, starting from the first participant. And yeah, so yeah, Professor Mai.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Shakir. And I should say thank you to all of you. Thank you for your time, and thank you to be here for the participating in IIARP, the International Institute of Academic Research and Publications.
You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You have the internet issue. Anyway, he has some issues in the internet, I think.
Okay, so now I'm sorry, there was an issue with my internet. Get back. So I should mention how we'll proceed this conference. I will say the paper ID and title of each article, and after that you have to start and share a PPT with other presenters. Thank you. So if all are ready, we will start from the first paper, which paper ID is 235. The title is AI-powered chatbots and course recommendation system of blue-collar workers. Paper ID 235. 235. If you're available, please share your PPT and start. Okay, I think we can move to the next presenter then. Okay, the next presenter is company bankruptcy prediction and comparison of machine learning, neural networks, and logistic regression approach. The paper ID is 246. If you are available, please share your PPT and start it.
Mrs. Fransayakti, would you like to share the PPT?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why I got my Zoom is okay. Good morning, everybody. Hello?
Good morning.
Please proceed. Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you.
Yeah. Why in my screen is still host slide? Yeah. Your host slide still in my.
You can click here is a green arrow. You can see it on the screen. Click on that and share your PPT.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah. I will choose my. Wait. Maybe Bu Trigunarti, can you help me to share the?
Yeah, can you send your PPT to the chat box? I will share it from here.
Okay.
I have shared.
Yeah.
Can you share
Putri,
it?
can you
Can
share
you
it?
send it to the chat box?
Oh,
Yeah.
Edwin.
Putri, can you share it to the host?
Yeah, can you send it to the chat box here?
I have sent. Could you
Yeah.
see the PPT?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I can help.
I don't see it here in the chat box. Where did you send it?
Just a
Today.
second.
Where did you send it?
Wait a minute.
Hmm?
Wait a minute.
แล้วก็แบ็กกราวด์
Here in the chat box in the Zoom, can you please
Okay.
attach the file?
Wait a minute. Aku-
2, 4, 6.
Kok belum ya?
Yeah, it's
Udah
good.
jadi?
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let me check. I am downloading. Okay. Okay. Wait, let me check. Yeah, it's here. And now I'm sharing your PPT.
Yeah.
It's this one, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, please go ahead. and
Yeah.
tell me when you are moving to the next slide. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for the time for us to present our research. It's entitled Insurance Company Bankruptcy Prediction, a comparison of machine learning, neural network, and logistic regression approach. Yeah. Okay, next slide. This research is have a collaboration between business and also technology information. It's Proptu Trigunarsi is from management. Me, Fransayakti, is from accounting, majoring, and then Raudiah Mardia is from artificial intelligence. Okay, here our abstract. Please next slide. The objective of our study is to evaluate bankruptcy prediction model. There are three in insurance company. There are three models bankruptcy prediction. It's multinational regression logistic, neural network, and ensemble machine learning. It encompasses both financial and non-financial indicators. Okay, maybe next. Why we choose insurance company? Yeah, because in the last 2 or 3 years in Indonesia, there are some or maybe many insurance company get bankruptcy. Yeah, it's Bumi Putra, Wana Arta, and so on. Yeah, and actually I was one of victim of the bankruptcy of insurance company. Insurance company is important because it collect and manage public fund for large scale. Yeah, they collect money and invest to various instruments from money market to capital market, with hope that they will get return and it cover all claim obligation. Yeah. Both claim for compensation, health, death, and retirement benefit. Unfortunately, wrong investment decision or weak governance can erode performance, trigger liquid pressure, ultimately push company towards financial difficulties and even bankruptcy. Therefore, development of early warning signal is an urgent need to so that failures can be identified before they occur. So our research is its implication for this. It's as early warning signal is early warning signal. So can be anticipated before it's occur. The failure of insurance company management is not only harms a customer, but it's because not paying the claims, but it's also affect all the stakeholder, including institutions that supervise activities in the insurance sector. So the protection for the customer and stakeholder of insurance company is important, because sometimes we don't know why surprisingly our insurance company is got a bankrupt. It's really make us surprised. Okay, next slide, please. So the objective of our research, there are two questions. First is what is an accurate model for predicting bankruptcy in insurance company, and also which model is superior among logistic regression, neural network, and machine learning in predicting insurance company bankruptcy. Okay, next question. And next, the methodology. This is a quantitative research. We using secondary data. The secondary data we use company who lists in insurance company which lists in Jakarta Stock Exchange. there are independent variable and dependent variable. The independent variable is financial indicator, is liquidity, solvency, and reliability. And also we include a non-financial indicator, it's a corporate governance structure. The dependent variable is a company bankruptcy is proxied by Altman-Git score model. Yeah. Three modeling approach we compare using rapid manner studio. There are one is multinomial logistic regression, which is a parametric model which is easy to interpret logit and softmax function. Two is a neural network, is a layered network to capture non-linearity, but is more challenging to interpret. And then the three is various machine learning algorithms. Algorithm is a decision tree, random forest, superior factor machine, gradient boosting, and so on to predict performance-oriented deep learning through feature selection and cross validation. But in this study, we use random forest and SVM, superior factor machine. Yeah. In this methodology, the technique we use is synthetic minority oversampling technique or the SMOT. Okay. Next slide. Based on the evaluation metrics provide, the result of this study, based on the evaluation metric provide, the neural networks model was the most superior, consistently outperforming the other model with the highest accuracy. Accuracy is 0.88, meaning 88% of its prediction were correct. Yeah, we see, and then the neural networks superiority was conferred by highest F1 score. It's 0.83, indicating an optimal balance between precision. Precision is 0.84 and recall 0.82, making it the most effective and balanced choice for prediction. The random forest model came in a second, while the MLM model showed the weakest performance with the lowest recall is 0.65, indicating the highest failure rate in detecting true positive cases. We'll see from the table, if we neural networks is accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score is more than 0.8, and then if we see the random forest, we still have recall is under 0.8, and then also F1 score is under 0.8. And then SVM, SVM is machine learning also, is all 0.7 around, Then and then we see in the
You
MLR
have 2 more minutes. Please
okay,
keep them close.
MLR is
Thank you.
the variative is under 7. Okay, next question. Next slide. This is it's still a discussion. This is neural network is still the best. To predict bankruptcy. And then the NN model is also effective in handling complex pattern and imbalanced data in the insurance sector. Most of the data in the insurance sector is imbalanced data. The NN neural network also on this data set can serve an early warning system for company to manage bankruptcy risk. Okay, this is our discussion, and then the last maybe next slide is a conclusion as we find before, and then with I said that this is the more accurate is neural network. Yeah, and then this is the model that demonstrate the most stable performance across all evaluation metric, making it the most accurate predicting model. Yeah. Overall, based on 4 evaluation metric, the model ranked from best to worst in this data set. Was the best is not the best is neural network, and then random forest, SVM, then the last is multinomial logistic regression. Yeah. Okay. The last, okay, and then we will say thank you for the DRTPM, Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology, for funding this research under the Basic Research Scheme to 2025. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very knowledgeable about the bankruptcy of insurance company, all these things. And it was quite interesting for me, for the future researches. So it's time to move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 247. Paper ID 247. Narrative Artificial Intelligence Adoption and Usage Behavior of BP Workers is Mediating Behavioral Intent and Moderated by Demographics. The paper ID is 246. No, sorry, 247. 247. Paper ID is 247. If you're here, please share your PPT and start your presentation.
247, let me check. 247, I think not available. Yeah, so please go ahead with another one. Absent.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shaker. We will move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 247.
248.
Of Islamic, 248. 248. Paper ID is 248. Determines of Islamic economics students' intention to choose Islamic banks and role of literacy, religious history, and social influence. The paper ID is 248. If you're available, please share your PPT and
Let me check. Let me check 248. 248. I also can't see it on the screen, so maybe it's a video presentation already sent to the team. And yeah, so please go ahead with another one. This is also not available. Okay. 248 is not available. Please go ahead with another one.
Thank you very much, Professor Shakir. Now we will move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 249. 249. Digital communalism and wastage behavior, rank moderation, and ethical behavior control. The paper ID is 249.
249. 249. Let me check. 249 is still all not available. Oh, 249 is available. 249. I can see it on the screen. Trade Trong. Can you hear me? Trade Trong. Tritron. Can you hear me? 249. No, that's 949. Sorry. It's 949. 249 is not available in, yeah, so 249. I'm saying, please go ahead with another one. 249 is not available. Yeah.
Okay, so we will move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 250. 250. Evaluating the effectiveness of digital payment system enhancing cash worth fundraising at Slow Peli Foundation, Surakarta, Indonesia. The paper ID is 250.
250 is not available. Please go ahead.
Well, thank you very much. Now we have to move to the next presenter. The next presenter paper ID is 251. Assessing the effects of objectives zakat on the material and spiritual welfare of Maluf in Jakarta, Indonesia. The paper ID is 251.
Go ahead, please go ahead. It's not available.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your cooperation. So we have to move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 252. The paper ID is 252. The title is Digital Marketing Stages Impact of MSME Development in Padam Temple Tourism Area. The
I
paper
think
ID is
still not available. Go to the next one.
okay. Thank you very much. So the next one is 253. The title is Integrating Sharia Principles into the Sustainable Marketing Enterprise, a case study of Sanatoria Farms sheep farming business. The paper ID is 253.
I still can't see this ID on the screen. Please move to the next one.
Okay, thank you very much. The next paper ID is 254. 254. Maqasid al-Sharia and Sustainable Development Goals evaluating the Basnans Salimans integrated zakat programs and community welfare. The paper ID is 254.
254 is also not available. Okay, go to the next one. 254. 254 is not
Okay, the
available.
next presenter ID is the paper ID is 255. 255. The title is
255, 256, 258. Let me check it on the screen. If it's not available, just then go to the 9 series. Okay.
Thank you.
255, 256, 2. Let me check. 256, 258, 258, 258, 258. It's just go to the 9 series, please.
Well, thank you very
Skip.
much and appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next paper ID is 904, Supply Chain Resilience Assessments, SCRA methodology of analyzing and optimizing the resilience of global supply chain using the example of medical device manufacturing. The paper ID is 904.
Let me check 904. 904. 902, 942, 992. Paper ID 904. Paper ID 904. I don't think so. It's available. Okay, just move to the next one. 904, not available. 908. Just I think we need to 908. 908
Okay,
available. 908.
908, it is here.
908. Yeah, please share your screen and
Okay.
908.
Okay, thank you so much for welcoming. Wait a minute. So I must present it in 7 minutes, right?
No, 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let me introduce myself first. Hello, good morning, everyone. The honorable all of the researcher here. My name is Tengku Hamid Darmawan. I'm come from Indonesia, but now I'm studying in School of Humanities, University Science Malaysia. And my paper is Ideology in Fiction, Unpacking Pancasila's Principles and Grassroots Democracy in Indonesian Literature. So what we want to introduce in the research is Pancasila. Pancasila is Indonesia's highest foundational state ideology. So that is the principle of ideology in Indonesia, the core of Indonesian values in Indonesian law. So, Pancasila itself consists of 5 principles or sila in Indonesia that outline national values in 5 sila. Belief in one and only God, it is the first sila. And then the second sila is just and civilized humanity. And number 3 is unity of Indonesia. Number 4, democracy guided by inner wisdom through deliberation and representation. And number 5, social justice for all Indonesians. The study adopts an ideological literary criticism framework, reading Indonesian novels for how they supporting, violating, or critiquing each of sila. So by treating literature as an inherently ideological museum, as Raymond William observed in the theory and the concept of literature, it's shaped by ideology. So this paper, following also in Terry Eagleton for ideological theory in literature, claim that all literary theory is necessarily political, examining 15 Indonesian novel that I want to share in this occasion. 3 per sila in each sila section. Consider 3 representative novel. One that support the principle, one that violates it, and one that critiques it, and often through subtle irony or challenge it. And then, what is the ideological framework? So, Marxists, in the history, Marxists and cultural critics have long argued that literature is inseparable from ideology, that is separate, that is different. But for sure, ideology is same with the how the economic or the other aspect in our human world. William, for instance, shows that very idea of literature carries ideological weight, privileging literature as full, central, immediate human experience, invisibly downgrades concept like society, turning literature into ideologized refuge. So they say that ideological is one of the best theory that can critics in literature. In our case, Pancasila, Indonesia's official ideology, is that one of the best structure in law in Indonesia. By reading how the point of sila, we will ask, does this novel in literature of Indonesia narratively support it means mirror or price with the sila, and how the novel also violate it, how they depict actions contrary to the principle of sila, or how the novel is critique it, how they engage the value in context of satirical way and other way how to critique the Pancasila. And why Pancasila? We know that Pancasila also, I have said before, Pancasila officially presented as the unifying ideology of Indonesian nation as an open ideology. So all of Indonesian people must have to sacrifice the sila. It is supposed to harness diverse values, how religious, humanitarian, social, in national life, also in other way. Analyzing literature to Pancasila is justified on 2 grounds. Pancasila is pervasive in Indonesian education and politics, thus shaping others' own worldviews and possibly slipping into their narrative. consciously or not. And then number two, Pancasila normative content provides clear thematic categories like justice, unity, democracy, and etc. That is the core value of human life that are relevant to many novels in Indonesia. And ideologically, one treats Pancasila not as benign a doctrine, but as contested terrain. Novels maybe uphold the official values or reveal them as hypocritical. So Pancasila mentioned the Indonesian nation embrace all aspects of life, implies the literature, cultural aspect cannot escape the Pancasila's influence. So in the methodology, we selected 15 well-known Indonesian novel in my abstract only in Orang-Orang Project, one of the most popular novel in Indonesia. But in this presentation, I will extend it in 15 novels. And we categorize each novel as supporting, violating, and critiquing. For each novel, we put the relevant passage in Indonesian with our English translation that exemplifies this sentence, then interpret its significance. Citation of the Indonesian text come from publishers, and then while translation are provided herein, this aligns with the cultural materialistic practice with the Egerton theory. So in the first sila, ketuhanan yang Maha Esa or belief in one God, I choose the three of novel in Indonesia, Laskar Pelangi by Andrea Hirata, and then Saman by Ayu Utami, and Perempuan Berkalung Sorban by Abidah El Khaliki. Laskar Pelangi by Andrea Hirata. This novel shows support to the first sila, belief in one God. In the values, the substance of the novel said that a true story inspired the novel story about the true story lah. This true story inspired of underprivileged student at a Muhammadiyah pesantren or Islamic pesantren on Belitung Island in Indonesia, overcoming poverty through faith and education that they must go to. And in that novel, there is one passage. We were taught not to speak when the azan. Azan is means call to prayer in Islam was proclaimed, and they must be silent and listen attentively to that call of victory. Our elders instructed portrays reverence for religious ritual as communal strength. That is the teacher said to the student. So there is support in the one sila, belief in one God. And then violation in Saman. Saman itself, the story is about Reformasi era novel exposing clerical hypocrisy and taboo sexuality through the eyes of disillusioned Christ. And yeah, this is the key passage in English. After you often the God, even his extents, I didn't expect you still wanted to become a priest, highest praises of faith and challenges to religious authority. So in that novel, they violate the sila. And then how about the critic? Perempuan Berkalung Sorban mention it. Perempuan Berkalung Sorban the story about follows a young woman in a conservative Muslim in Java village as she pushes against patriarchal customs justified by the religion of Islam. So in one passage, the woman said that in that conservative traditional environment, the only true and the legitimate knowledge is the Quran, Hadith, and Sunnah, and modern books are considered divine teaching. They also critics misuse of scripture to oppress the woman. And then the sila number 2, support in Siti Nurbaya, violation in Cantik Itu Luka, and critic in Laut Bercerita. Siti Nurbaya, the story is about tragic Minangkabau romance, highlighted forced marriage and the human cost of tradition with moment of deep empathy. Oh, Sam, don't have mercy on the old man. It's better if we just walk home slowly. It simplifies compassionate respect for others. So, in Sila number 2, just and civilized humanity, how the humanity value uphold and highlight in here. So, the support in Siti Nurbaya, but violation in Cantik Itu Luka by Eka Kurniawan said that the man who has raping the girl from the store of his own, blah, 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 leaving behind a repression. And yeah, they said about how the humanity is not accept in this novel. And then the critic in Laut Bercerita, one of the most successful novel in Indonesia, with the marketing and also on, say that and wrap the wire around all 5 of my fingers. If you dare lie, I'll electrocute you. Denounce state torture versus human values. So yeah, in this novel is very appear that how this novel critic the Sila number 2. And then for Sila number 3, Unity of Indonesia. For support in Negeri Lima Menara, that is the story about 6 students from different Indonesian regions born and at Islamic boarding school, forging lifelong friendship and purpose. Yeah, we know that this novel is very, 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 very just tell about how the unity of Indonesian in because every student have coming from the other regions in Indonesia. We came from Gontor, Medan, Bandung, Flores, Papua. Okay, that is the name of areas in Indonesia, yet a single call to prayer summons us by one name, Indonesia. They say that in that novel. So yeah, that is very united, how the core values of unity in this novel. And then violation in Amba, the story is about historical epic of a mixed heritage in Buru. Buru is one of the Sulawesi's culture
Sorry, you have
Indonesia.
4 minutes. Please
Critics.
conclude it.
Okay, thank you. And critics Bumi Manusia, how young Javanese nobles struggle in colonial society, expose racial, social, and class divisions, undermining national unity. And then the Sila number 4, in Orang-Orang Project, an engineer leads villagers in collective problem solving on how they build a bridge project and exemplifying a grassroots in democracy. In that novel, say that we gather in a tin roof shack to deliberate ways. No voice was allowed to drown. Models participatory musyawarah. Yeah, in this novel is support in the sila number 4, democracy by deliberation and representation. So democracy is the core value in here. How to violate the democracy is in Tenggelamnya Kapal Van der Wijk. Story about star-crossed lovers are crushed by the patriarchal adat and feudal councils that override individual will, and a critic in Belenggu, a psychological drama in colonial Jakarta, reflecting how social conventions inhibit genuine dialogue and representative. For example, the key passage of the novel can you read in the presentation. And then the sila number 5, social justice for all, in support in Rongkeng Dukuh Paruk, how portrait of female village dancers, exploitation, and the community eventual solidarity in defending her rights, violation, and explore the destructive impact of shrimp farm industrialization on rural farmers, revealing systemic inequality. And the critic, how the wartime in Gadis Pantai, wartime Ambonese romance. Ambonese is one of the Indonesian culture also, and the unmasked class and religious injustice amid occupation, living communists, etc. Yeah, that is the conclusion of my presentation. So Indonesia have a lot of literature and novels. So there is not yet theory. There is no theory before how to mention about the Pancasila's core value as one of the largest law in Indonesia and ideological also. So when analyze this novel through the lens of Pancasila, we will know how Indonesian literature reflects and integrates national values, how supportive they're, how violate there, and how they critique the silas, each of silas in Pancasila. So in the 15th novel that I used in this research, I find each novel have to how they support, violate, and critiques the Pancasila value. So this systematic comparison demonstrates that Indonesian novels can be meaningfully read for their ideological content vis-a-vis Pancasila, enriching both literary interpretation and civic understanding. So there is the literature review, and yeah, bibliography for my research, and that's all for me. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation. It was quite knowledgeable, and I have really impressed from the methodology and the process. But it's time to move to the next presenters, whose paper ID is 908. The paper title is Ideology in Fiction.
No,
Unpacking.
this is done. This is already done. 908 is done, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 908 is done.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your attention. The next paper ID is 915. Paper ID is 915. The integrated project-based learning of enhanced learners' competencies in community problem solving by social engineering approach in Muban and Juban Rajapot University, Thailand. The paper ID is 915.
915 live ใช่ไหม
Please share your PPT and start your presentation.
915. Can you please share your screen?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, please go ahead with your presentation.
ละข้างบน โอเค
Can you please start presenting?
Yes, okay. Good morning, committee member and participants. My name is Sutirat Wansili Satuban from Muban Tombung Rajabhat University, Rajaburi, Thailand. Today, I'm honored to present my research entitled Integrated Project based on learning to enhance learners' competency in community problem solving via a social engineering approach in Muban Tombung Rajabhat University, Rajaburi, Thailand. In recent years, education in the 21st century is rapidly changing due to technological, economic, environmental, and social factors. To keep up with this change, learn needs essential skills such as critical thinking, digital literacy, and communication ability. Without continuous upskilling, individual might face growing skill gaps. Therefore, modern education must emphasize integrated learning to support holistic personal development and better prepare students for real-world challenge. To address this gap, this result integrate project-based learning with the social engineering process, a participatory community development approach to create a more alternative, systematic, and impactful learning experience. นี่มันขึ้นจอเหมือนเดิมไหมอะ The key role of project-based learning is modern education. PBL emphasize learning through real-world problem inquiry and hands-on problem solving. It also promotes teamwork in discovery, integration, affection, creating, and reflection. Thus, this process, students develop essential 21st century skills, critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration, making learning more meaningful and connect to real-life experience. The social engineering framework, which is based on King Rama IX principle of understand, access, develop. The approach applies engineering concept to community development for participatory engagement is usually essential to ฟ้าประธาน secondary to development timeline, process timeline, and the MIC model, which help learning analyze community dynamics, communicate efficiency, collaborative as with stakeholders, and design structural social innovation. Overall, social engineering requires students to become change who can work meaningfully with communities. Why the study is important? The result integrate project-based learning with social engineering to strong student competency is analytical reasoning, innovation, and community collaboration. The study focused on the memory community with whole local wisdom, but face challenges such as limit innovation, marketing gap, and low investment. The resource objective to develop and integrate the project-based learning and encourage the social engineering process to address community problem, enhance analytical and innovation competencies, and further meaningful collaboration between students and local communities. The methodology. This study employed research and development approach using mixed methods, combine both quantitative and qualitative research. The objective was to develop an integrated project-based learning model that incorporates the social engineering process to solve community problems and enhance competency and analytical thinking, innovation, communication, and community collaboration. The result design improvement consists of three main phases. Phase 1, study background information and communication content to identify problem needs to potential. Phase 2, design and development the integrated learning model using PBL and 5 social engineering tools. And phase 3, implement the model to student and innovate evaluation to help the target group. Study of หมู่บ้านจอมบึงราชภัฏ University and member of the Tha Khơi Memory and Seal Community. The research instrument. 3 main instruments were used in this study. 1. Learner competency assessment form. Evaluate student development in analytical thinking, innovation, communication, and community collaboration using a 4-level scale. to community and stakeholder satisfaction questionnaire. A 5-point Likert scale questionnaire is to satisfaction toward project process, participation, innovation outcome, and community impact, and 3 student project and innovation artifact. The result demonstrate that students significant improvement in all 4 target competencies. The overall average competency score increased from 2.25 to 3.73 out of 4. Students were able to identify genius community problem, design and test prototype innovation, and present homework efficiently. The collaboration with the Thakur Memory Community Enterprise Raspberry Province enhanced student standarding and the real-world agreements. The satisfaction evaluation result.
You have 2 more minutes, so please conclude. Thank you.
Process satisfaction, community participation, innovation outcome, and impact and sustainability. All categories received a high score ranking for 4.72 to 4.78 out of 5, indicating that participants were highly satisfied and the project's improvement, community engagement, quality, innovation, and long-term benefits. Overall, the results confirmed in the project to both effective and well received by the community. In the student work section, memories were processed into lipstick, jam, and smoothie. Silk cocoons have been used to create keychain and accessories. Conclusion. 1. Development of an integrated learning model. The study created an integrated instruction model combining project-based learning with social engineering tools. The enhanced systematic, experiential, and community-consent learning. The approach enables students to apply academic knowledge to real-world content while developing critical 21st century competencies such as analytical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. 2. Significant improvement in learning competency, community outcome. Students demonstrate substantial competency growth with average score ranging from 2.25 to 3.73 out of 4. They were able to identify real community problems, design and test innovative prototype, and communication result effectively. Collaboration with the cell memory community enterprise in Thakur Sub-District produce artificial internet at the voluntary resort and the Stonewall University community partnership. And finally, 3. High stakeholder satisfaction in the economic industry development. Community members show high satisfaction above 4.3 per 5, confirming in the project the positive total impact in the model support to BCG economy and contribute a strategy for 11 and 17. Highlight the vital role in higher education innovation into program structural improvement, fostering local innovation and empowering community toward participatory learning. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It was really incredible research about the learning competencies. But it's time to move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 919. The title is Unraveling the Cascading Effects, the Bank Frauds, Performance, and Exchange Rate Volatility Dynamics. The paper ID is 919. Are you available?
919, yes, I can see it on the screen. Bainata Sen, can you come to present your paper if you want? 919, you want to present or you already sent the video presentation? Okay, good. 919. Please share your screen, your PPT. You still didn't share. (919), can you please open the presentation and share it on the screen? Please go ahead with presentation. You're not edible. You're not edible. You want to present or we stop the screen sharing? (919), you want to present or we move ahead to the next one? Am I audible, Professor Mike?
Yes, also.
Okay. 919, I don't know what's the issue. So please, if you don't want to present, we will skip this presentation and we will move to the next one. Because we are really late of time. We are behind the time schedule. Okay, so I'm stop sharing this screen and we are moving to the next one. Later, if we have time, we will come back to this presentation. Okay, please go ahead with the next one.
Thank you very much and appreciate your support. Now we have to move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 940. The paper ID is 940, the social engineer as a catalyst for the community development, a case study of promoting elderly quality of life. The paper ID is 940.
I know.
Are you available?
Hi. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning, sir.
Okay.
Please.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. So the title is The Social Engineer as a Catalyst for Community Development, Promoting Elderly Quality of Life through Student-Led Innovation. This is the group effort of MCRU Muban Jombung Ratchapat University from Ratchaburi Province, Thailand. We are in the west of Thailand. This project is very important. As you know, Thailand suffer from the aging society. So we tend to have the aging population day to day. From picture here, the group leader is Assistant Professor Dr. Niparat Bugun, and our advisor, Kun Nongrat Isaro, and me and my teammate, Kieng Pon. So let's reframe what social engineer is. Social engineer is an effort of Rajapat University system in Thailand to create unique student characteristics and to respond to the university that position ourselves as our mission to fulfill the local development. And the social engineer in the sense that you may know about the network attack and something harmful to the network is not in this sense. We use as a gimmick name like social and engineering as an engineer as a skill set that create students to be involved in the community. Our aim is to set our students with 4 skills. We would like our students to have critical thinking, to analyze the community context, and identify root causes of social challenges. We would like them to have coordination, work in groups, and can managing project effectively. And obviously, with this, critical thinking is self-creating. With the coordination is linked with others. They need a good communication, and to make things happen, they have to innovate. So implementing the initiatives through the project. We developed the tools, 5 tools. As you see, the group of students are having fun in the community on the right-hand side pictures. We have all the names are in Thai here. Fa Patan, which means identify yourself to know the context. Nalika Shivit is circadian rhythm to effectively schedule interaction with others, have an effective connections with community. Timeline, development timeline, or in Thailand, Pattanakan, is a framework for mapping historical evolution of a process, project, or system that they study. And then move on to timeline, the process timeline, or in Thai timeline กระบวนการ is a framework for tracking community development process and measuring progress over time. And lastly, for innovating, we have modify, improve, and create model, or MIC model. In this project, we create link with elders. We demonstrate how to make the intervention and restore the elder dignity, reduce their isolation, foster the intergenerational solidarity. So we have project categories in wellness program, make them have a strong physical and mental health. Income generation, they can create and help with their economic using their skill set that they have before. Culture preservation, their intergenerational knowledge can transfer tacitly to the younger generation, and their social connection contribute to help them less lonely and having fun. If we look at the quantitative impact, the student skill development, students show marked improvement across all 4 core competency that I mentioned earlier, which is shown in this graph. You see the darker yellow color, there is the before they enter the program, their coordination level slightly lower. After they be in the program, their coordination is effectively over almost 90%. And throughout this program, we calculate our social return on investment. Every 1 baht invested in the social engineer program for MCRU research project, we gain 2.63 in social value. The highest one is the economic value because they can have income generation and cost saving for elderly household. The second most is the social value, 28% reduce isolation for the elders. And the lesser one, the environmental value. We have expert validation peer, and we hope this would be scalability among Rajapat system in Thailand. We have systematic structure, we have expert validate the model, framework, the logical progression, and we are ongoing with the second year funding from research development funding of Thailand. We have adaptable design, which means it can adapt to various culture settings, not just for elders. And this become the scalable impact that's suitable for replication across institutions outside Rajapat system as well. In terms of sustainable development, we have the pivotal framework. We have an agent of change as our students that integrate rigorous academic to practical community center approach. We have the community center throughout the program, and we hope that will be replicable in the future. So this empowers communities, foster inclusive growth in the future, and can shape sustainable future. In conclusion, the project will link with my colleagues that will be present after me next. He created the short course for training our students. We have social engineer model. This I repeated again. It's not network attack. It's blueprint for inclusive change. We have higher education that can analyze local development. We have future scale model nationally and internationally. Together, bridging generations through education, we ignite a future where every community thrives. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And we need to come back to 919. She was unable to share her screen and PPT. And I will share from here. Let me check. Wait. I will download first. So here it is starting from 12:20, and I need to download her PPT. And then I will share it from here. Let me check banking fraud. It's downloading. Just a while, please. Yeah. Okay, so I will share your screen here. 919, and can you please go ahead with the presentation? Let me check. Yeah, here's your PPT. Nine 919, are you available? Can you please start presenting while I'm sharing your PPT? We can't hear you, really, sorry. You have some internet issue, maybe. You have issues in your internet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Please go ahead with the presentation. Here is your screen share.
Yes. Thank you very much. I am Binata Ranishan. I am a PhD student of a School of Business, Harbin Institute of Technology. And here it is the work of with my professor. My research title is here, and I am presenting. Next slide, please. Okay, here is the contents of my presentation, and then next. Okay, and here is my biography. I'm also working as an assistant professor of Noakhali Science and Technology University, Department of Economics in Bangladesh. And I'm also research focused in exchange rate volatility, economic growth, and strengths in applying artificial neural network in banking sector. Next slide. I'm starting from now abstract here. The main aim of my research is linking among the banking fraud, performance, and exchange rate volatility in Bangladesh from 2000 to 2023. The objectives is divided into two parts. Number one, at first I want to link up the banking fraud and bank performance, and then I want to find out the relationship between banking fraud performance with exchange rate volatility in Bangladesh, with their 10 out of 8 major trading partners, exporting countries and importing countries. And I want to find out the mediating effect of bank performance with bank fraud and exchange rate volatility. My first objective is based on the crisis fraud triangle theory. And I used here GERCH model, VCM vectorial correction model here to for analyzing and finding out my results. My key findings here is the fraud cases and staff involvement lower bank performance, but the lower fraud amount, total fraud amount involved in fraud cases can increase returns. And then the outcome here is exchange rate effect. Bank performance impact currency volatility differently across major trade partners. And there are some policy implications, targeted fraud controls and governance reform to enhance financial stability. And there is a summary, linking fraud dynamics to performance and exchange rate risk, actionable guidance for regulation. Next slide, please. Okay, it's my introduction. From 2000 to 2023, major fraud scandal occurs in banking sector in Bangladesh, like Hallmark, Basic Bank, and this deteriorated the public trust of the among the banking sector, and fraud harmed bank health and contributed to domestic currency instability. This study analyzes long-term data, I say also 2000 to 2023, and bank performance, bank fraud, and exchange rate volatility. In the past literature, past study, there is no work which is due among the relationship between banking fraud, banking performance, and exchange rate volatility, micro to macro sense. So this literature gap, I want to find out a bridge to fill up the gap in this literature. Next slide. Next. Okay, there are some problem statements. Number one, fraud prevalence undermines public trust and sector stability due to weak internal controls and regulatory gaps. Bank performance decline profitability due to banking fraud, liquidity as a mediator between fraud and macro effects. Missing integrated analysis of how bank performance mediates fraud effects on exchange rate fluctuations. Policy research is needed to design framework that curb cascading impacts and enhance sector resilience. So there is two more core research questions, what causal pathways exist and which controls and policies are most effective here. Next slide. Okay, thank you. Methodology. My first objective is based on fraud triangle theory. Crisis fraud triangle. There is 3 drivers: pressure, opportunity, and rationalization. Pressure proxied by number of employees working on fraud cases, and STF. Opportunity proxied by quantity of fraud instances here. Rationalization proxied by measure of non-performing loans. So framework link these proxies to bank performance and exchange rate volatility in empirical models. Next slide. Okay, there is the data sources and the econometric framework. For my first objective, to collecting the fraud data and related, I collect from Bangladesh Bank annual report, CPD, IMF, and for my second objective, I have collected bilateral exchange rate with major trading partners, exporting countries, US, Germany, UK, and India, and importing countries, China, Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia. They have the variables and consumer price index, which is come from International Monetary Fund database. I use here unit test, co-integration test, VCM for short run and long run, and Kusum stability test. For collecting the exchange rate volatility, I used Gertz family model, and software use 12 and status 12 I have used here. Next slide. Okay. Result and discussion for my first objective, fraud cases versus fraud handling. So there from 2000 to 2023, the graph showing staff dedicated to fraud increases over the period, peaking at staff and showing significant variability. And fraud cases averaged below 1 per year across the period with sporadic spikes. Return on assets fluctuated widely, suggesting instability linked to fraud dynamics. Interpretation: intensified detection efforts coincide with low average incidence, but variability gives fraud a stability risk. Next slide. Okay. The stationarity and co-integration result. NFCA, number of fraud cases, the number of fraud amounts is stationary at level 1, but ROA, NSTF, and TFC, the variables are still non-stationary and require first differencing. There is optimal VCM leg 1. Co-integration tests show a stable long-run equilibrium linking fraud and banking performance. So implication, model dynamics with a VCM to capture short-run adjustment and long-run relations. Next slide. Next. Okay. That is the first results of ROA impacts, long-run versus short-run effects. In the long run, NSTF, now staff on fraud, negative impact on ROA.
Sorry,
ROA
interruption. You have 3 more minutes, so please conclude it. Thank you.
Okay. Next slide. Next. Okay, there is the discussion. So dedicated fraud staff improves dedication and recovery, so which can increase ROA. And long-term severe, higher absolute fraud cases still reduce overall profitability. So the net effect here, banks must balance risk control and efficiency to optimize ROA and profitability. Next slide. There is the results of banking and exchange rate volatile bank performance. Here is the results of trading partners. The ROA positive correlation with volatility in India, China, Germany, and foreign reserves generally reduce volatility versus USD and Chinese yuan. However, reserves correlates with increased volatility for India and Singapore. Inflation typically raises volatility due to greater economic uncertainty. Interest rate, country dependent. So, summary, impact is heterogeneous. Policy responses must be country-specific, targeting ROA-driven inflows, reserve deployment, inflation control, and interest rate signaling. Next slide. Okay, here is the short-term foreign exchange volatility results. Next, there is the conclusion. So the consistent long-term evidence, fraud incidence and fraud management reduces bank ROA, return on assets. Paradox, total fraud amounts occasionally show a positive association with ROA. Accounting treatments or strategic cost management of affect fraud. Financial effects of fraud are nuanced and require tailored risk and accounting responses in Bangladesh Bank. The summary: maintain robust fraud control while reviewing post-fraud accounting and cost strategies. Next. Bank performance linked to Taka currency exchange rate of Bangladesh stability. Positive correlation between bank performance and Bangladeshi Taka exchange rate volatility. Healthy banking sector support bank macroeconomic stability and currency market resilience. Policy implication: bolster bank performance to manage exchange rate fluctuations and external shocks. Critical insight for policymakers targeting currency market stabilization. Next. This is the expanding research.
Can you please conclude it quickly?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. This is the acknowledgement. My professor, Dr. Jiang Minghui, who is my the supervisor of my PhD research, and I want to thank the conference organizer and Bangladesh Bank for giving me the fraud-related data. Next slide. There is the institutional CPD, Harbin Institute of Technology. I want to thank them. Next. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let me stop sharing the screen and okay, please go ahead with the next one.
Thank you very much for the bank performance, and Bangladesh Tech has performed like the status. So now we have to move to the next one, whose paper ID is 940. 941.
941. Yes.
941.
Okay, I'm sharing screen.
Okay, thank you.
Moment กดแชร์ตรงไหนวันเอกโอเคเอาเลยมองเลยโอเคขึ้นเลยนะ Okay, good morning everyone. In Thailand in the morning, Malaysia in the evening. I'm very proud to present my research title, Developing a short-term experimental learning curriculum to foster social engineering skill in university students. A case study from Muban Jamung Rajpat University. Okay, the background of this research is roots in Thailand National Education Plan, which emphasizes lifelong learning and the holistic development of human potential. The plan envisions education not only an academic training, but also a process to build citizens who can contribute to a sustainable and equitable society. Muban Jamung Rajpat University has a clear mission to promote local and community development. In line with the mission, the university launches the social engineering project based on the royal initiative of His Majestic King Lama X. The project focuses on producing graduates who are not only knowledgeable, but also possess positive mindset, employability, and responsibility towards society. However, most university programs remain theory-based, providing limited opportunity for real-world practice. Therefore, the research was conducted to develop a short-term experimental learning curriculum that fosters social engineering skills amongst university students, blending academic learning with community engagement and practical experience. Objective of this research. The first, to design a short-term experimental learning curriculum. Second, to strengthen student competency in critical thinking, communication, coordination, and innovation. And third, to assess the curriculum appropriated and effectiveness through expert validation and implementation. The concept framework of this research, the first is need assessment, conduct in-depth interview with 15 stakeholders, including policy maker, trainer, and student. Curriculum design, development design, principle from Tyler, Chaba, Oliva, and Cope experimental learning theory. Expert validation, 7 experts revise the draft curriculum and provide feedback from refreshment. And implementation, the curriculum was delivered to a group of 100 undergraduate students. And evaluation use assessment, observation, peer review, and pre-post measurement. This is a short-term curriculum in 6 models. The first, model 1, relationship building, focus on creating truth framework and communication and among students from different disciplines. Model 2, the Fapatan, to train students to distinguish between fact and feeling, helping them analyze real situation objectively and develop critical thinking. Model 3, life cost management, strength equationing and planning skill using the 5W1S technique, encouraging students to manage time and resource effectively. Model 4, development timeline, guide students to explore the history and case of community problem, allowing them identify leverage point for change. Model 5, process timeline and 4M analysis with students for man, money, material, and management, enable students to design practical and feasible project plan. And finally, model 6, the MIC model, which means modify, improve, and create, help students propose innovative solution and present their object to community partner. Each model integrate active learning method such as workshop, simulation, and firework with reflecting and feedback to reinforce learning outcome. Next, implementation after the curriculum was developed. It was implemented with a group of 100 university students from different faculty at Muban Jamung Ratchapat University in main state. Preparation and orientation, students were introduced to the concept of social engineering, the objective of this program, and his 21st century skill, ice-breaking and truth-bearing activity were conducting and promote teamwork. Next, experimental learning in action. Students apply each model step by step, starting from identifying community problem analysis cost using 4M analysis and brainstorm develop project.
You have
They're
3
working.
minutes, so please conclude it. Thank you.
And reflection, the presentation after fieldwork, students return to reflect on their experience, evaluate their framework, the present innovation development proposal to university, mentor, and community responsibility to the process, instruction, action, and facilitator rather than lecture. Learning was driven by participation, collaboration, and problem solving rather than theory only alone. Okay. And next, the result of the research. The result, it was the short-term experimental curriculum effectiveness and had the student social engineering competency. Data were collected, the pre and post assess observation, checking and self-reflection journal. Quantitatively, students choose significant improvement in 4 key areas: critical thinking and problem analysis increase, communication and teamwork improve, planning and project design rule, innovation and creative increase. In conclusion, the study demonstrated that short-term experimental learning curriculum can effectiveness foster social engineer skill among university students by indicating local wisdom, community engagement, and multidisciplinary teamwork. The curriculum standard student critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and innovation, the 4 essential competencies for 21st century learner. The social engineering model also aligns with Thailand National Education Plan and the university mission of local development in academic learning with real-world application, preparing students to become an ethical, responsible, and community-oriented citizen based on the finding their recommendation as proposed initial integrating. The model should be incorporated into university curricula or general education program to ensure sustainability. Faculty development teachers should be trained and facilitated to guide experimental learning effectiveness. Continuous collaboration and partnership between university, community, and local organizations should be standard to expand the model impact nationwide. Thank you for attention.
Okay.
Okay, you have any question?
Thank you. So we will have Q&A session later, so we can discuss all the presentations and related question in the Q&A session. Now we need to move to the next one. Who's next?
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shakir. We're gonna move to the next session. The first speaker ID is 909. In the
909.
technical session 2, we have the...
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
909.
Please share your screen and start your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. I share the share. Okay. Community. Sorry. I can start this year.
Yes, yes. Please go ahead. Please.
Yes. Okay. Good morning, distinguished professional college and friends. My name is Taitun Thoi Muang from Music Education Department, Factory Humanity and Social Science, หมู่บ้านจอมบึง Ratchapat University, Thailand. It's my great honor to present our project entitled Community-based music education as learning innovation, the Khoi Kanao Sing Song project for cultural sustainability in Thailand. Next, background. ส่วนพึ่ง district is West Thailand is borderland of remarkable diversity. People of Thai, Korean, and non-heritage lie together, hopefully sharing food, music, and tradition. Among
unique symbol the กล้วยตะนาวศรี is local banana variety that carry both biological and cultural heritage. Yet today, under modernization and globalization, local wisdom, its variation, tradition, Woodway music, and Luther story departing from diary life. Next, researcher him, okay, fashion watch. How can music become link between tradition, knowledge, and modern education? To answer this, we create a new song, the กล้วยตะนาวศรี song, based community story, receive and agriculture practice based on community story, receive and agriculture practice through this process. We transform local wisdom into living learning experience that connects school and community. Next, the project is grounded in 5 theories. Number 1, aesthetic of music. Music embody beauty and meaning. Number 2, music learning. Learning to create a performing. Number 3, experiential learning. Proof model, experience, reflection, and action. Number 4, transformative learning. Develop and pass-on process, turning classic knowledge into share unable knowledge. And number 5, knowledge management. Knowledge management, develop concept process of turning tacit knowledge into share unavailable. Together, the framework show that music can act and living knowledge system, not only an art form. Next, methodology framework. We use participatory action research, meaning that everyone, teacher, student, and community members work together co-researcher. There were 150 students, 10 teachers, and 20 community knowledge holders from 6 schools in สวนพึ่ง. The process follow 4 stages. Exploration, learning local story and banana related knowledge. Number 2, songwriting workshop, creating lyric and melody. Number 3, classroom integration, using the song in actual lesson. And number 4, reflection and share evaluating learning together. Next, key outputs. From this process, we produce 3 main outputs. First, the กล้วยตะนาวศรี song, combining Thai musical, Indo, and local narrative. Second, 9 digital learning clips showing how banana-based research repair connecting food and culture. And third, network of 6 schools working together use music for cultural learning. Education outcome. The project tests students in 20th century skill, creativity, collaboration, communication, in the critical thinking. Music become tradition, disciplinary tool, looking at which side, language, and healthy education. Students even share their learning at home, teaching their framing about banana-based tradition. This shows that music-based learning extends beyond the classroom, is research, art, and home. Next, cultural and policy impact. Cultural, the song become a shared symbol of สวนพึ่ง identity is a language UNESCO Education from Sustainability Department and Convention on Intangible Cultural Heritage, well as the Royal Pan-Genetic Convention projects initiative, as well as the Royal Pan-Genetic Conservation initiative by Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakki Sirinthorn is the meaning. The project connects cultural creates with biodiversity conservation, turning music into a link between education, heritage, and sustainability. And next conclusion. In conclusion, the Kuala Song project demonstrates that both medium and message of learning through melody, rhythm, and participation, we can preserve heritage, empower learning, and sustain culture. This project of reciprocal modern of community-based education across ASEAN and beyond, showing that when we sing our heritage, we keep it alive. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your research findings. And we will have a Q&A. Later, we can discuss each presentations in the comments or questions related to those presentations. We are moving to the next presenter, and the next presenter is 9Q5 in the paper title is by degradation of poly paper coffee cups by Ten Brave Monitor, and there is a word state I can't pronounce it right. You can come to present this title to be presented by Pedrico Lionel.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Yes, please.
Perfect.
Share your
Okay. I'll share my presentation.
Yeah, please. It's still not sharing. Yeah, it's sharing now. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Are you seeing the presentation?
Yes, it's visible. Please go ahead.
Perfect. Well,
Yes.
today directly from Argentina, I present the result of a research project I am leading at WADE. Our goal is to tackle a major environmental issue, that is the pollution caused by single-use paper cups. We propose a sustainable solution using biotechnology. So we try to turn the waste into opportunities. My name is Federico Parra. I am the director of the Institute of Technology at WADE, where I lead several research projects focused on sustainable biotechnology. My academic background includes a PhD in science and technology and a strong experience in biotechnology process design and innovation. To present the problem, I will introduce that in the modern world, with its immediacy, single-use paper cups, as you see in the photos, mainly to drink coffee, have become a major environmental concern. What started as a public health solution in the early 20th century is now an ecological hazard. For instance, coffee is the most consumed psychostimulant in the world, but the awareness of the impact that the takeaway consumption made is still very low. People don't really realize how huge is the problem. In fact, in environmentally advanced countries, about 80% of the coffee is consumed in disposable cups. That makes more or less that 300 billion cups used worldwide every year. And of course, most of these disposable cups end up in landfill. So the huge problem is that these disposable cups that are made of polypaper, they are not recycling. They cannot recycle because the polypaper is a combination of paperboard, as you see in the image, with a polyethylene coating. So the recycling is extremely difficult because we should separate the paper from the plastic coating. Additionally, some of these type of cups have other components like adhesives, inks, or lids that complicate the process even more. So conventional recycling technologies are not sufficient, and less than 1% of these cups are recycled globally. Only 1%. So this leads to the accumulation in landfills and aquatic systems and contributes to microplastic pollution. Well, we know that there are several studies that indicate that some insect larvae, such as Tenebrio molitor, Sophoba astrasus, and Galeria melonella, that you see in the photos, can ingest and partially degrade polymers such as polyester, polyethylene, and polyurethane. So based on this evidence, our question is, can this larva also degrade polypaper coffee cups? So to answer this question, we designed some experiments. Basically with Tenebrio molitor and Sophoba astrasus, that are two species that we can buy easily in Argentina. And well, we try to evaluate that if Tenebrio and Sophoba can degrade the polypaper cups. So some glasses, as you see from Starbucks, were cut into small pieces and treated with citric acid, 10% citric acid for 8 hours at 30 degrees. The larvae were placed in containers, approx 170 Tenebrio or 30 Sophobas per liter. So we choose to standardize in biomass, which was approx 12 grams of larva per liter. And we tested 3 conditions. Control, which is bran, that is the normal feeding, untreated polypaper fragments, or treated polypaper fragments, treated with citric acid. Then we made this assay over 28 days. We monitor survival, metamorphosis, weight changes, and at the end we measure the remaining cap material and the larva biomass. The most significant finding of this assay was that Tenebrio molitor larvae consume about 8% of the treated cap fragments after 28 days, compared with only 2% of the untreated fragments. This is what you see in the graph. And the images illustrate that the structural changes that was caused by citric acid. You can see the pre-treated polypaper cup, the treated, and the consumed. You can see in the consumed photo how it was eaten by the larva. The treatment visibly affected the polyethylene layer, and probably this acid treatment make the surface more porous and easier for the larva to chew. So probably this facilitates the higher consumption rates. In the contrast, Sophoba larvae consume very small percentage of the caps under both conditions. So we think that Tenebrio is consuming more, and we are now doing more assays with Tenebrio instead of Sophoba. In addition, we assess also the larval survival, because one thing is the consume.
Sorry for interruption. You have 3 minutes, please. So
Okay,
conclude it.
perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. One thing is the consumption, and other thing is the survival. So we study the survival of the larva. Well, we know that Tenebrio molitor show higher survival than show similar survival in the group that was fed with the treated, which is in red, similar to the control. This shows that probably the Tenebrio could use the plastic to gain energy and survive. This is a very interesting finding. Going to the discussion, our results strongly suggest that the citric acid pretreatment partially degrades the polyethylene layer of the caps and make it more accessible to the larva, which results in a higher consumption rate. And this is only seen in Tenebrio, not in Sophobas. Well, to confirm this hypothesis, because it is an hypothesis, we should conduct other detailed physicochemical analysis that we didn't do yet. For example, using FTIR spectroscopy. Additionally, we could analyze the FRAS for chemical markers that could provide some evidence about the polyethylene bond cleavage. It is important because we think in using the FRAS, for example, as a fertilizer. Overall, Tenebrio molitor proved to be more efficient than Sophoba atrasus, so future trials will focus in Tenebrio. To summarize, the citric acid treatment significantly improves the biodegradation without compromising the larval survival, which is very important. And although larva extract only limited energy from cap fragments, this approach shows that there is a strong potential to use insect larvae as a low-cost and scalable strategy for reducing polypaper cap waste. And looking ahead, our next steps includes optimizing the treatment conditions, for example, with other acids, other concentrations, or other exposure times, and testing mixing diets to enhance the growth and the consumption. And finally, we are going to assess the industrial feasibility, because our goal is to use it in industrial scale. Yes. From the biotechnology approach, we are now isolating intestinal bacteria and enzymes to better understand the biodegradation process. Well, finally, I would like to thank to the entire Tenebrio teams. They work very hard and with dedication. Special thanks to Pamela Bernabé, which is a researcher from CONICET from Argentina, and all the students that participate and contribute to the project. And I am also very grateful for the opportunity to show you our advances in this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your research finding. And we are finishing this technical session 2. The next paper is 944. The paper title is Binaural Additive Generation Using Diffusion Model Condition Visual and Positional Information of the Sound Sources. Can you please come to present your paper? And after that, we will have 2 more, and then we move to the Q&A session.
Yes. Can I see the slides?
Yes, please go ahead. 944.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Haruka Okano from the University of Electrical Communications in Tokyo, Japan. Today, I'd like to talk about our work titled Binaural Audio Generation using diffusion model conditioned on visual and positional information of the sound sources. Here is the outline of my presentation today. Do you know what binaural audio is? It's a type of spatial sound that can reproduce how we actually hear sounds in real life. In other words, it models how sound reach to both of our ears. Binaural audio enhances the immersive experience, and it has great potential for applications such as SMR, music, movies, and games. Despite this growing demand, recording binaural audio still has some challenges. The required equipment is often expensive and not easy to carry. For example, you need a dummy head microphone that costs from $400 to $8,000, or a binaural microphone that requires a separate recorder. Therefore, it would be useful if we could record high-quality binaural audio more easily. One of the previous studies that addressed this problem is the work by Gao and others. In the study, they input one-channel monaural audio, which lacks spatial cues, into a regression model and condition it on an image of the recording environment to generate two-channel binaural audio. However, this pipeline has remained the same in later studies, and common issue is that the generated binaural audio often lacks spatial realism. As evidence for this, I will show objective evaluation using IACC score. The IACC score measures similarity between left and right audio waveforms. A value close to 0 indicates a more spatial sound, while a value close to 1 indicates more monaural sound. As you can see in the middle table, the ground truth binaural audio has a score of around 0.7, whereas prior work exceeds 0.9, which means generated audio in prior works remains close to monaural sound. Another issue is that the experiment setup in previous studies is quite different from real-world applications. In the real scenario, the model should take actual recorded monaural audio as input. However, in their experiments, they use the synthetic monaural audio obtained by averaging the left and right channels of the ground truth binaural audio. As a result, spatial cues that should not exist may still remain in the input. Therefore, this study has 2 main objectives. First, we proposed a method to generate high-quality and spatial realistic binaural audio from monaural audio and video inputs to make video audio more immersive. Second, we verify its effectiveness under practical conditions. From here, I will explain our approach, focusing on the issues in previous studies and our solutions to them. The first problem is that the regression models used in previous studies tend to return a conditional mean, which makes it difficult to reproduce diverse binaural effects. To address this issue, we take an approach that learns the overall data distribution using a generative model. In this study, we adopted a diffusion model which has recently shown excellent performance in generating high-quality images. Second problem is that there is no dataset containing real recorded monaural audio for experiments under practical conditions. Therefore, we created a new dataset. As shown below, the monaural audio and video were recorded using a smartphone, while the binaural audio was recorded using a dummy head equipped with binaural microphones. Next, I will explain this generation process in a proposed method. First, the input is visual context and monaural audio, which is converted into a spectrogram using short-time Fourier transform. Then it's further converted into a Mel spectrogram, whose frequency axis is scaled to match human hearing characteristics. This Mel spectrum is fed into the diffusion model, which generates the left and right channel Mel spectrograms while being conditioned on visual context information. Finally, these generated Mel spectrograms are input into a vocoder, which reproduces the final audio waveform. Here is the model architecture. The area highlighted in red shows a newly developed diffusion model, which we call diff binaural. The vocoder part used an existing model. Now I will talk about the experiments. We used two datasets. The first one is a fair play dataset, which has been widely used in previous studies. It contains 9 types of musical instruments. The second one is a rare binaural dataset, which we newly created. It contains 8 sound classes. Here is the training details. In our experiments, we use Big Boolean as the vocoder. The vocoder was trained using scheduled sampling, where the ground truth and the generated Mel spectrums are mixed during training. As for the baselines, we implemented 3 open source models for comparison. Here is the evaluation metrics. We use 4 metrics in total. There are 3 metrics for audio quality. The first one is Mel, which represents the RMC of the Mel spectrum between the generated and ground truth audio. The second one is ENV, which represents the RMC of the amplitude envelope between the generated and ground truth audio. The envelope, as shown in the figure below, describes how the amplitude changes over time after the sound is produced. The third one is SNR, which stands for signal-to-noise ratio. It indicates how much noise is mixed in the generated audio compared to the target audio. To evaluate spatial realism, we use ISCC. As I explained earlier, ISCC indicates how spatial the audio is. In this evaluation, we calculate the difference between the generated and ground truth ISCC values for each test sample, and then average them over all test data. Here are the results. Our proposed method outperforms previous studies, especially in Mel and ISCC metrics. For the real binaural dataset, our method achieves the best performance across all metrics. In the listening test, for the fair play dataset, the generated audio sounded natural and successfully reproduced the binaural effect. However, for the real binaural dataset, the generated audio contained some noise and had challenges in reproducing clear sound direction. In addition, the quality-related
We have
metrics.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry for interruption. Please conclude. Thank you.
Yeah, Mel and SNR show a significant drop in the real binaural dataset. This clearly indicates that experiments and practical real-world conditions are much more challenging tasks. Finally, our method also tends to preserve binaural characteristics. If we focus on the ISCC, the baselines all score 0.9 or higher, performing poorly in spatial realism. Our method is a clear exception, preserving spatial realism. So far, we've used ISCC to evaluate the overall spatial impression. To analyze this in more detail, we use ILD and ITD, which are the 2 primary cues for sound localization. ILD refers to the difference in sound pressure level between the left and right ears, and ITD refers to the difference in arrival time. We evaluated the error, that is, the difference between generated and the ground truth audio. Looking at the result, we found two distinct outcomes. The ILD reproduction is a clear success for our method. In sharp contrast, the ITD reproduction did not perform well, falling short of the baseline performance. So, why did our method struggle so much with ITD? As this trial clearly shows, the root cause is that our proposed method is based on a Bogoda approach. The baseline methods estimate a mask on the complex spectrogram. A complex spectrogram represents both the amplitude and the phase of the audio signal in the time frequency domain. Therefore, they can preserve both amplitude and phase information. On the other hand, our proposed method generates the waveform from the mirror spectrogram, which preserves only amplitude information. As a result, phase reconstruction becomes difficult when using a Bogoda. Therefore, reproducing temporal alignment becomes challenging, leading to lower accuracy in ITD. This slide shows the conclusion of our study. We are now working on conducting a subjective evaluation. You can also listen to the generated audio from the QR code on the bottom right. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for sharing your research finding. We will have Q&A later for the participant to comment or having question for this presentation. Let me check the next one.
Yeah, we have whose presentation, whose paper ID is 945, the proposal of human-like debates framework based on LLM agents with personality traits. The paper ID is 945. If you're there, please share your screen and start your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, good. Welcome back, Professor Mike. You was busy. Okay, so please come the 945. 945. Where is 945? 945 is 20. 945. 945. Are you available? Okay. Can you please share your screen? Yeah, please go ahead. Okay.
Hello everyone. My name is Akazu Kimura from the University of Electoral Communications. Today I will present our study titled Proposal of a Human-like Debate Framework based on LLM agents with personality traits. Today I will present our research in the following order. First, let me begin with the background of this study. With the rapid development of large language models, research on social behaviors of LLM agents has been gaining significant. One line of prior work assigns Big Five personality traits, widely used psychological indicators, to LLM agents through prompting. Such personality assignments have been shown to influence linguistic patterns generated by LLMs, enabling more human-like dialogue and task execution. However, despite these findings, there are still few studies that systematically analyze cooperative behaviors or debate dynamics among multiple LLM agents endowed with personality traits. Recently, debate-based task-solving approaches, which multiple LLM agents have been attracting attention, but many existing frameworks make agents speak in a fixed turn order, and thus fail to reproduce human-like autonomous turn-taking, such as speaking when they want to interrupt or deliberately staying silent. As related work, a discussion system has been proposed where speak rights are determined using bits from 0 to 4. Agents listen the current speaker and bid for the next turn, and the agent with the highest bid becomes the next speaker. Also, this method enables autonomous speaker selection. It does not explicitly address human-like behaviors such as interruptions or silence. Based on these observations, I will now explain the research objective. The goal of this work is to realize human-like autonomous debate using LLM agents and analyze how personality trait assignments influence cooperative behavior. To achieve this, we propose a debate framework based on LLM agents with Big Five traits, with which explicitly incorporates interruptions and intentional silence. We then verify effectiveness of this framework by analyzing task accuracy and consensus formation in tasks that require a single final answer. Next, I will explain the workflow of this proposed framework. As shown in the figure, the framework consists of the following components: assigning personality traits, initial answer generation, multi-turn debate, final answer decision. I will explain each step in detail. First, assigning personality traits. For each big five dimension, extraversion, uh, conscientiousness, agreeableness, openness, neuroticism, we define two levels, high and low. By combining these traits, we generate personality profiles. These are assigned to each LLM agent through system prompts, which influence both their behavior and utterance patterns. Next, the initial answer generation step. Each agent is given the task and independently generates an initial answer and the reason for that answer. These initial answers are then shared among all agents as common information before the debate begins. Now I will explain the multi-turn debate process. First, the current speaker generates an utterance directed to other agents. The generated utterance is then segmented into sentences, and each sentence is shared one sentence per turn. This mechanism allows other agents to decide whether to continue listening or interrupt, enabling flexible human-like timing for utterances. Next is action plan generation. In every turn, all non-speaking agents generate an action plan based on turn event, whether the current agent is speaking, whether silence occurs, or whether someone interrupts. The action plan includes their thought, action, intent of the action, urgency of utterance, consensus state. Using these action plans, the next speaker is determined. If only one agent chooses speak or interrupt, that agent becomes the next speaker. If multi-agents choose these actions, the agent with the highest urgency is selected. If the current speaker still has remaining utterance segments, the next agent's utterance starts from the next turn. This is treated as an interruption. If all agents choose listen, the turn becomes silent, and this information is shared with all agents. Agents also output whether a consensus can be reached so far, which we use to detect early stopping. Finally, the final answer decision. If all agents reach consensus before reaching the maximum number of turns, that answer is used as the final answer. If consensus is not reached, each agent regenerates an answer based on the debate log, and the final answer is decided by majority vote. We will now proceed to the description of the experiments to validate our framework.
Sorry, you have 2 more minutes. Please conclude it. Thank you.
Okay. The LLM settings are shown in the slide. For the task, we used MMLU, a 4-choice dataset across 57 domains. We used 3 LLM agents and the debate was set to a maximum of 20 turns. We compare 3 approaches: a single LLM, multi-agent without personality assignment, and personal agents with personality traits. In personal agents, we assign distinct personality traits to each agent to analyze differences in action selection. For evaluation, we sampled 1,000 MMLU questions. We compare the accuracy across conditions. To analyze agent behavior and consensus formation, we also compute average silent turns per question and early stopping rate. Now I will present the results. As shown in the table, both debate-based approaches outperform the single LLM, and then the personal agents achieved the highest accuracy. Also, the difference is marginal. Regarding consensus building behaviors, assigning personality traits reduced silent turns significantly and increased early stopping, indicating more active and efficient debates. Let me discuss these findings. First, the small difference in accuracy suggests that for knowledge-intensive tasks such as MMLU, differences in behavior or utterance patterns due to personality traits have only limited influence on correctness. However, in terms of debate dynamics, a clear behavioral change was observed. Agents with high extraversion tend to select listen less often, leading to fewer silent turns and more active debates. Finally, I will conclude my presentation. In this work, we developed an autonomous debate framework that explicitly incorporates interruptions and silence. For future work, we plan to conduct more comprehensive evaluations with diverse combinations of personality traits. We also aim to perform ablation studies to analyze the individual effects of interruptions and silence mechanisms. Thank you for listening.
Well, thank you very much for presentation and your time. We really appreciate it for sharing your knowledge about research with us. Now it's time to move to the next presenter, whose paper ID is 946. The paper ID is 946, and the paper title is Addressing the Prompt Injection via Dataset Augmentation through Iterative Interactions Among LLM Agents. The paper ID is 946. Are you available?
Okay.
Can you see my
Okay, please go ahead.
okay? Can you see my slide?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. Hello everyone. I am Go Sato. I'm a graduate student at the University of Electrocommunications located in Tokyo, Japan. and I study the security of large language models. Today, I will present my research. The title is Addressing Prompt Injection via Dataset Augmentation through Iterative Interactions among LLM Agents. First of all, let me begin with the background of this study. Large language models have rapidly become widespread in recent years, and they are now used by a vast number of people on a daily basis. However, it has been pointed out that these models have a critical vulnerability, which is that they may respond to malicious questions or commands given by users. Such attacks are known as prompt injection or jailbreak, and they have become a serious concern as large language models continue to spread. While LLMs can appropriately refuse ordinary harmful requests, such as the example shown at the top of the slide, they may still respond when the same harmful intent is aimed within an indirect context. For instance, as shown in the bottom example, the model may answer a question about how to break into a house if the request is framed as a part of a movie script. To address these challenges, a considerable amount of research is currently underway. However, existing methods still face two major challenges. The first challenge is existing methods often reject queries that merely contain harmful sounding words, even when the content itself is harmless. That's because most of them are designed solely to prevent the model from responding to malicious questions or commands. As a result, they tend to overreact and incorrectly block meaning queries that include sensitive terms. The second challenge is that many existing datasets of meaning prompts are too easy to classify. Because these prompts are clearly meaning, they do not provide sufficiently difficult examples for distinguish borderline cases. As a result, for methods that rely on training, we cannot expect meaningful improvement in identifying prompts whose harmfulness is more ambiguous or difficult to judge. Next, I will explain the objective of this study. In this study, our objective is to address these challenges by analyzing and generating prompts whose harmfulness is difficult to judge, and by iteratively training models on such prompts. Through this process, we aim to enable more accurate and reliable classification of harmful and meaning prompts. Now, I will briefly explain one related research. The method proposed in this study is very simple. It consists of two stages in which the model is given system prompts and generates two outputs. Specifically, in the first stage, the LLM is instructed to analyze the essential intent behind the user's prompt and produce an output describing that intent. Then, in the second stage, the LLM is instructed to generate an output in accordance with the safety policy based on the analysis produced in the first stage. Regarding this method, as shown in the table, our additional experiments reveal that it tends to overly reject even meaning prompts. Then, I will move on to the proposed method of this study. Building on the two challenges I mentioned earlier, as well as the findings from the previous study, we propose a method that employs multiple LLM agents organized into two teams, one responsible for analyzing prompts and the other for generating them. Based on this structure, our approach utilizes in-context learning, allowing the agents to learn directly within the prompts provided to them through system prompts. Regarding in-context learning, in this study, we use logs containing information about previously analyzed prompts to facilitate learning. We define two logs for the analysis team and one log for the generation team. These logs include the types of information shown on the slide. Now, I will explain the proposed model used for training LLM agents. First, let me describe the workflow of the analysis team during training. In the first stage, once a prompt is provided, a supervisor defines 2 or 3 analysts, each of whom is assigned a distinct task considered necessary for analyzing the harmfulness of the prompt. Next, each analyst performs analysis based on their assigned tasks and generates outputs corresponding to 3 types of information shown on the slide. Then, based on the analysis provided by each agent, a judge agent makes the final decisions on whether the prompt should be responded to. Next, in the second stage, if the given prompt is harmless and the judge agent's decision is correct, the generation team is invoked as shown in case 1. If the decision is incorrect, the feedback agent is invoked as shown in case 2. The workflow for case 1 will be explained separately in the following slide. Finally, in the third stage, for case 2, the feedback agent provides explanations on points for improvement and future considerations, which are then added to the logs along with prompts retrieved from the dataset. This completes the analysis for a single prompt. By updating the logs and providing them to each agent, the system gradually improves the accuracy of the analysis. Next, I will describe the workflow of prompt generation team during training. In the first stage, the feedback agent is initially invoked to provide guidelines for generating prompts that are more difficult to
We have
judge.
3 minutes, so please conclude. Thank you.
These guidelines, along with the received prompts, are then added to the logs. Then, in the second stage, the generator uses the information in the log to create pinning prompts that are likely to induce errors, and these generated prompts are passed to the analysis team. This completes the workflow of the generation team. Now, I will explain the experimental setup. First, regarding the datasets, the dataset of harmful prompts was constructed by integrating the 4 existing datasets. For the binning dataset, we use 3 publicly available datasets. Additionally, the evaluation metrics and baselines are shown on this slide. I will present the experimental results. First, regarding the comparison of accuracy between the baseline and our proposed method, the dark blue bars represent our proposed approach. As shown in the bar graph, our method achieved the highest accuracy across 3 metrics. However, the results also indicate that there is almost no difference in accuracy compared to the vanilla baseline, shown in gray on the far left. Next, regarding the result of the evaluation study for our proposed method, as shown in the bar graph, it is evident that both the generation of binning prompts and the training process contribute to improvement in accuracy. Now, I will discuss the considerations and insights from the experiments. Regarding why the accuracy of Llama 3.1 was comparable to that of our proposed method, we believe that this is due to the excessive amount of information provided to each agent. Since there is a limit to context length of prompts given to the agents, we selectively include these parts of the logs by calculating the cosine similarity between the prompts retrieved from the dataset and those in the logs. However, it is likely that the value of Jurashov's alpha and top k were not appropriately set. Adjusting these values remains a task for future work. Finally, the conclusion and future work are shown on the slide. That's all for my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think our technical sessions is going to end. And now we will open for a Q&A session, but I will invite Mr. Dr. Professor Shakir to move to the end of the session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much and for sharing all the different research findings, and now we are open for the question, suggestions, comments, or any other things related to conference and related to this session as well. So we are open for the questioning and for the comments as well. You can come up with your questions, with your suggestions if you have noted regarding other presentations. You can come to present your comments. Yeah. Thank you. Any question? I have noted some question, not question, some suggestions or some comments based on my own experiences regarding manuscripts in peer-reviewed journal. So the first paper which I observed, 246, the presentation, and it said that it is based on secondary data, but in the presentation, I didn't see uh, citations or references. I don't know that how you conducted that study based on the secondary data, or whether you didn't include the citations in the presentation. So can you please come to tell us about your presentation and how did you do that study based on the secondary data? 245. Are you available? 246. Sorry, 246. 246.
246.
Yeah, 246.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prof. Tri, maybe you
And
can answer the question.
yeah. We just didn't put the data source in our presentation, but the data is from annual report from insurance company in Indonesia. Is it your question?
So you have taken the secondary data from the annual report.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And did you properly cited all the sources? Am I right?
We didn't put in the presentation, but we put it in our article, our manuscript.
Okay, it is already there in the article, because you know, without if it is secondary data, secondary based on the secondary data, every claim, every statement should be cited. The big claims, the big arguments you have in your manuscript must be cited. You need to pay attention to that, otherwise your manuscript will be desk rejected, you know. So you need to pay attention to the citations, and the citation must be in a specific style, usually APA latest 7th edition. So you need to pay attention to that. That was my comment regarding your presentation. Thank you so much. And
Thank you for your
yes.
comment and your suggestions. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm coming toward the 908. 908 is a good study, and it is based on the existing literature regarding the Indonesia core values, and it's the local word used for fankesila or something like that. I can't pronounce it correct, maybe. Sorry. So you mentioned that you analyze the existing novels or literature, that how they support, critique, or maybe they are neutral regarding the Indonesian core values. And I want to ask, because this is a very good study, I want to ask that how did you come to select all those novels or literature because for selecting such studies, you need to have a scientific procedure. You can't just select any novel or any book or any study and just randomly include it into your paper. You need to have specific scientific procedures to select such novels or study. That's my first question. Another is I know that Indonesia is an Islamic country, I know, but there are many different ethnic groups with different religions, multiple religions. So how did you find the different literature, different novels talk about the one God value, the only one God value? That is, I think it is the government. It is included in the state policy as one God religion, or monotheistic religion is an official religion. How did they criticize, or they are supporting, or they are what they say about this concept, this value? (908). Are you available? 908. Let me check. 908, I think, is not here. 908 is absent. Anyway, these are my comments or questions for you. You need to pay attention to these comments, because your paper, your manuscript will go through a peer review, and you may receive comments regarding these aspects from the reviewers. So you need to polish your paper in that way, yeah, in that direction. Okay, so you can note these questions as well for your paper. And I also have some questions for 915, question and suggestions as well. Your work is on community. It is related to community. And then we didn't we didn't know clearly what did you do clearly about the method section. And you said you have collected your data through questionnaires, but I think this study must also, or should also, include some qualitative methodologies, or some ethnographic touch should be there in this study, because it is related to community. And when we are talking about community, we need to have some qualitative touch in that study. What do you have in your mind regarding this? (915). Are you available? 915. Suthirak Yunseri. 915. Can you hear me? Hello? 915. 915. Can you please unmute yourself? I don't know. What's the problem in your side? Hello? 915.
Thank you.
It's very noisy in your side. We can't hear you clearly.
Yeah,
Hello? Anyway, maybe you can't hear or you maybe have problem in your side. Anyway, these are my comments for you. Questions very important. You need to keep in mind these questions while revising your manuscript, and then you can submit it to the peer review journal. Again, 940, the same quite similar comments for your study. That is a very holistic study. Also involve community development through social engineering tools. Your method detail is missing, and you also didn't mention about the qualitative aspects of your study. How did you do that? 940. 940. It's also not available. Anyway, these are my comments on your paper. You can revise your paper while keeping these comments in mind. Otherwise, you will have problems in proceeding your papers in a peer review journal. Okay. Again, 941. This study also focused on social engineering, and also we didn't see the qualitative side aspects of this study, which is quite important. You need to provide reasons for not including the qualitative aspect in your methods, why you didn't do that. Or if you can include that aspect as well. This is a must asking question from the peer reviewer, from the reviewer, or from the journal. So you need to keep in mind this comment as well. Okay, 909. 909. Let me check whether it's available. The 909. 909 is also, I think, not available. 909. But anyway, I will give my comments on this manuscript, and it's the 909. This manuscript mentioned about participatory research, and it is a qualitative research methodology, but it is not very clear in the presentation what type of participatory method was used, whether it was a participant observation, a non-participant observation, what type of data collection tools were used, such as structure interviews, semi-structure interviews, or what type of interview were used, and how did you access to the participants? What about the ethical procedures? All these things are very important to be mentioned clearly in your method section before submitting your manuscript to the peer review journal. 909 is also not available. Anyway, these were some of my comments for these papers. Other papers were quite good with the methods, achievable objectives, and they can proceed with the submission to the journals. And I hope that there will be few comments or minor revisions for those papers from the peer review journals. Yes. If you have any comments for some papers, for some presentations, or if you have some comments or questions regarding the conference, regarding the certificates, proceedings, journals, anything you want to ask, we are available now to answer your question. Yeah. Any question? Yeah, you already sent your presentation in the video form, and it will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. And later, I'm sharing the channel link, and you can see it there. Let me check the YouTube channel. Okay. So I think you have no questions regarding the conference or anything else. So it's very good, really enjoyed this session with all of you. It was really very great experience with all the participants. They presented their papers here live on Zoom. Thank you so much for participating in this virtual session. And as I saw, different papers presentation from different countries, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, China, and many other countries. And as I saw that there were very good research ideas in all those papers with their good efforts for the best papers uh, intended to submit to the good peer reviewed journals. And as I saw, the data and the methodology were quite enough with the information, but still we saw that some methods or methodologies in some papers need to be modified before submitting it to the international peer review journals, because international peer review journals they always care about the good papers they want to publish, and they need it for the quality of their journals. So you need to improve your papers before submitting it to the journal, to the peer review journal. And if you are serious, you want to submit your paper to international peer review journal or Scopus journal or Web of Science Index journal, I will share our publication team email and WhatsApp number. You can add that WhatsApp number, and our team will guide you step by step how to prepare different things for the submission, and what to do and what not to do for submitting your manuscript to the peer review journal. So I will share that, and I'm sharing here in the chat box our email here. You can note this email is very important for the future correspondent, and here it is. I'm sharing in the chat box. This is the email, you see, and I am sharing our WhatsApp number. Our WhatsApp number is here. You can add this WhatsApp number for the future correspondent. And yes, so here it's 60. I'm basically using this Malaysian number. So I will, if you add me, I will add you to the publication team group, WhatsApp group, 11 in 37 96 38 49. 11, 36, 37, 16, 96, 38. Yeah, this number is very important for you, not only for your manuscript submission, for asking about the certificates, proceedings, but also about future opportunities. For example, if you add this number, you will be added to our WhatsApp group, and you can have different opportunities in the future regarding our future conferences, scholarships, research projects, uh, inviting you to be an editorial board member, a guest editor, a special issue guest editor, and many other opportunities you can avail uh, by participating in this WhatsApp group. So this is a very important WhatsApp number. You can add it if you want to avail those opportunities. Yeah. So here is this number, And again, here I am sharing the YouTube channel link. You can have this channel link, access to this channel. We shall be very thankful really if you can subscribe, like and subscribe, that you can have more videos and different other information through our YouTube channel. You can also see the uploaded missing presentations. The participants who are not able to present here on Zoom, so they can see the uploaded presentation here on YouTube channel. Yeah. So this is the link. You can have this link as well. And let me see what other things. So our respected session chair, Professor Mike, and other reviewers who already evaluated your presentation and papers and abstract will have remarks and results regarding the best paper, and they will share it with us. Later we will send the results in through email, and those the person, the participant who has the best paper evaluated by the session chair and the reviewer will get an award in the form of certificates. So you will get that through your email, including the certificates and including the proceeding book. Yeah, so you can have this as well. And that's all from my side. And one more thing, sorry, I forgot in the beginning. If you can open your cameras and we can have good group photo from the screen with your smiley faces. Thank you. Okay, few more. Thank you. Waiting for your cameras to be open with the good smiley faces, please. Yeah, this is an important picture. We can upload it to our website. Yeah. Thank you. For few more, please. Few more. Few more. 940. Can you please open your camera? And 919, 919, 902. These two participants, please open your cameras, please. 919, 902. 919.
I have already opened my camera.
Yeah, please. And 902, 902. Al Gamdi. Can you please open your camera?
Yes, sir. The background is not the conference title. If you allow it, I will open the camera.
So you are unable to open it? Anyway,
Can be open, but
I'm
the
taking.
background is
Okay.
different.
No problem. It's different. It's okay. No problem. It's not the must to have this specific picture in your background. No problem, please.
Okay, my dear. I do appreciate it, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So I will say 1, 2, 3 with the smiley faces. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. It's done. Yeah, so we are finishing this session, and if you have any comments or questions, still you can ask, or if you don't have now, you can add the WhatsApp number and you can ask us anytime, 24/7. I said that all presenters are sure on the YouTube channel. Yeah. So all the presentation you can see on the YouTube channel. Yeah, good. Okay. So we are finishing the session, and Professor Mike, if you have any remarks at the end, and then I will just close it. Okay, no remarks. Thank you so much, and have a good day. And we will send all the documents to your email. Just wait for it. Today you will receive it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
You.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, is it finished our conference or what?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
understand.
finished. Yeah, finished.
Finished? And so when we can receive our publications about
You need to
proceedings.
you need to send your revised version of the manuscript if you have, or if you already share it with us. We will proceed with that manuscript to be submitted to the journal, and you will be informed soon regarding the progress.
Okay, it's very nice.
Thank you
Because
so
I
much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Without presentation, I say, no problem. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.